Critiquing the Nofap subreddit part 2. Nofap talks about addiction that exists, something that you need to fight, urges that you need to fight, compulsions you need to fight. It implies that your brain is broken in some way and you're going to have to go through a period of misery where you're abstaining in order to overcome the addiction by battling these urges, ignoring these urges, urge surfing, creating self-improvement habits, improving your mental health, all indirect processes of change. I believe, through my months of education and overcoming the PMO problem, that instead you want to create a direct change of your preference. Addiction doesn't exist, compulsions don't exist, urges don't exist. What you think of as urges and compulsions are merely a desire, no different for a desire from what I've got here, black coffee. Okay, that's the drink for today. And I'm going to drink this hot drink, chill out, I've got my new microphone, and we're going to go through the Nofap subreddit. I haven't looked at any of this today. This is all completely, I've not seen any of it. And so we're just going to go through what's hot today on the Nofap subreddit. It's the 15th of December. So here we go. Twitch is basically, hang on about, let's move myself over here. Twitch basically just allowed softcore porn. Interesting. Okay, so he says it's bad, which, here's the thing, like when it comes to the PMO, when it comes to the porn industry at large, I actually think it's bad. Do I think that porn itself is bad? I think it's bad for me. I don't want to do it. Is it objectively bad in terms of, like, is smoking bad? Most people would say yes, but is it always, like, it's in the eye of the beholder. If I want to have a cigarette on a night out, that's my choice. I want to do it. And do I regret it? No. Do I think, oh no, I smoked a cigarette? No, I wanted to. And after I've done it, I'm like, yeah, I wanted to do it. I own my decision. I don't see it as an addiction. But do I think the cigarette industry is bad? Tobacco industry is bad? Yeah, absolutely. The point is that, is PMO bad for you? It has negative consequences. If you're willing to pay those consequences, then fine. By making these videos right now, there's an opportunity cost. I could be doing something else, and yet I'm making these videos. Is this worth it for me? Absolutely. It sounds a bit fucked up, but I hope you understand. True, I think social media is softcore porn these days. Anyway, this isn't very interesting, so I'm going to move on. Here we are. The future of porn is scary. Here we go. Your addiction will have to go through an addiction that is 10 times harder. Think about it. Your kids need a strong future. Your kids need a strong dad or mum to beat this addiction. There's no addiction, right? It's your relationship with it. Nothing is addictive, it's your relationship with it. Some people are addicted. Andrew Tate drinks like 14 cups of coffee a day. I drink it whenever I want. Is it the coffee that's making me addicted? Or is it how you perceive coffee? If you believe you need coffee to wake up in the morning, if you believe you need coffee to have any energy, or you need it for you just need it, then you're going to feel like you need it. I personally don't. I'll drink it when I want to drink it, and I won't drink it when I won't. So it's the same. My point is, it's the same with PMO. Some people will look at PMO and they'll see it through this addiction lens. They'll see it through, I need this in my life. Some people will look at it and they'll just see it as a video, and they'll just be like, I don't really need it. It's not the end of the world, and it's not really that great. It's not the substance that makes you addicted. It's your relationship of it. It's your perception of it. The whole problem with Nofap is that you now perceive a PMO usage, instead of just, I wanted to do it because I wanted to do it, because I wanted to feel good, or I wanted to do this or whatever, which is how you would have viewed PMO when you were 14. You instead are now in a position where you're viewing your desire as a compulsion, as an addictive force, right? So the idea that this type of porn is going to be more addictive is false. People might develop more false beliefs about it. They might believe that they need it, but that's the good news is that your belief, your reasoning is in your head, so you can change it. What Nofap purports is that your brain changes, and therefore it's out of your control. You need to abstain in order to gradually recondition your brain. You just need to change your beliefs. Your beliefs are where it's all at. And yes, experience will help with your beliefs. For example, let's say you decide, my life will definitely be better off without PMO. I have free will. I'm just going to stop, and I know I'll be happy without it, right? You think that, but then there's still a bit of discomfort because you don't understand what that future really holds. It's essentially a new life. It's like going to a new school again, and you might think, okay, I know this is good for me, but there's still that little bit of unease. And then when you experience it, when you experience the benefits after 2 weeks, if you experience the benefits after a month, if you experience the benefits after a few days, you start to think, man, this is worth it. And then that experience reinforces your previous kind of perception of what you think the porn-free life, the happy porn-free life is going to be like. Do you get what I mean? It's like when you try new food. It's like black coffee. Here's a good example. Coffee, right? This is black coffee. It's quite bitter. And people will say it's an acquired taste. What do you mean by acquired taste? It means you have to be open. When you were a kid, you thought coffee tastes like shit. But then you see the adults drink it and you think, man, I want to be sophisticated. So you think to yourself, I want to learn to enjoy coffee. I want to be open-minded towards it. And then you start drinking it. Maybe you start drinking it with like milk and sugar. And you begin to enjoy it. And you acquire that taste. You can similarly acquire the taste for abstinence, and you can be like, man, this abstinence tastes sweet, it tastes good. Okay, anyway, that was a big ramble, but yeah. And again, the reason why a lot of the reason as well that I've got in my head about making this counter message against the Nofap community is that I understand that the porn industry is only going to get bigger, and as the industry gets bigger, the mythology is going to get bigger, and therefore it's so important that we just don't have this Nofap mentality, or at least help as many people as possible. Okay, so yeah, that was a pretty good post. Not good isn't like good to talk about. It's not this guy got scammed through OnlyFans or something. Okay, let's have a look at the cycle that he's written down here. Abstains. Okay, I got scammed by a girl and she said she was willing to have sex for money. Tomorrow's my big wrestling tournament. I got injured in practice today, but I'm not going to be 100%. I saw a post where someone talked about using this to cope with emotions, and I just did that today, which led to someone taking advantage of me. Now, if I lose tomorrow, the cycle is going to continue over and over again. It's a maze and I can't get out. It's a cycle of his own creation. That's the key thing. So first of all, he believed that this prostitution thing would relieve his negative emotions, which it can't. Right? It's just PMO. It's just a distraction. It's just a distraction from your negative thoughts. If I'm stressed out about something, how does PMO solve it? Oh, it temporarily relieves it. But does it? All it's doing is you're focusing on the video. When you're focusing on the video, you're not focusing on your stressful thoughts anymore. The PMO can't go into your head and change the perspective you have. It's just a distraction. And then you might be like, oh, it's a distraction, so that is still valuable. But you could distract yourself with anything. You can in fact just learn to... You could learn and say like, okay, if I watch PMO, my life's going to get worse, so I could just not. I don't need it for stress. Do I need the distraction for stress? No. Could I do something else to distract myself? Yes. Or could I just sit here and not care and just be happy not PMOing? Because the benefits that I see in not PMO, that sweet non-PMO lifestyle, is that worth it? Is that better than PMOing? And if you could be open to that idea and you can realize that you're 100% free to make that choice and you have full mental autonomy, you have no learned connections, you have no desires that are pulling you externally. And if you don't realize that, reread chapters 8 through 10 of TFM. If you realize that, and then you can choose those benefits that you can see. If you open your mind, you see those benefits, you see that alternate path, that new path, then you can just go for that and you can feel that and you can be like, man, I love this. And I much prefer it to PMOing. PMOing makes me feel sad, makes me feel shit. Not PMOing makes me feel amazing. It's like with booze. Like when I used to go to the nightclub and not drink, and I thought that this would be awful, but I was open-minded to the possibility that I could have full confidence when I'm not drinking. And I did it and I experimented, and I went to the club. I didn't drink. I approached the girls there. I got rejected. I got some success, whatever, however the night went. And there was no confidence problems. And then I realised I had that new belief in my head of, I don't need porn. No, sorry, I don't need alcohol to go to the club. The experience taught me, but I had to be open to that experience in the first place. I had to open my mind towards it. I had to be convinced that this was a possibility. Guys like this who deeply entrenched in Nofap believe that isn't a possibility. They believe that reality is essentially closed to them. So he feels as though the cycle is just going to continue because he views it as causal. He views it as, this is going to happen, this is definitely true. And look, he views it as like this kind of chemistry reaction. You know, in chemistry we did these like reaction equations, like this reaction, if you combine this chemical and this chemical, it creates this chemical, and then if you distill it or whatever, it creates this new chemical. This is kind of how he's baked it into like a cake making formula, and he's viewing the human psyche as this causal cake, when really we use reasoning and we have intention. Look, I can do anything. Like, I can drink this now or I cannot. I drink it or not. I'm in control. Look, am I going to drink it? I might not. Am I going to? Okay. I'm the one in the driver's seat here. If I see benefit in it, I'll feel desire towards it. If I don't see benefit, I won't. Do I see benefit? Well, yeah, I want to drink it now before it goes cold. I hope this doesn't sound patronising at all, because you've got to realise I was in this trap for 6 years. So please don't take any of this as patronising or me talking down to you, because I was in this exact position myself. So how can I be patronising? It doesn't make sense. Look at this comment. Mate, this cycle is nearly impossible to break. Says who? Says you. Says you who hasn't solved it. Again, I'm not being patronising, but this sounds like a negative Nancy. And to be fair, when you're entrenched with this Nofap ideology, this is how it is. Like, it feels impossible, and it feels hopeless, and it feels frustrating, and it sucks. It's quite funny. This seems pretty fucking desperate, I'll be honest. It seems very, very, very negative in here. Break the cycle when stuff goes wrong, push through it. What he really needs is to get off this forum, man. This forum is really fucked. I'm hoping you're starting to realise how fucked this forum is. How it is essentially a breeding factory for, like, suicidal ideation. Wait. Nofap badge with the wrong mentality. Oh, okay. Okay. This could be... Ooh. Come on, let's have a look. As the title says... Oops, sorry. Nofap is bad for you with the wrong mentality. Yeah, you kind of got baited at the same time. Blah, 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 blah. The study shows how humans are more effective when they lose than when they win. More exactly, if they win a game, they'll be a little bit happy, but if they lose, oh god, it's bad. If you win 3 matches in a row and then you lose 2 matches in a row, you're going to be sad, even though you won more than you lost. You are a winner. I think that depends on your perspective. If I won 3 chess games against Magnus Carlsen, but then lost 2 against Magnus Carlsen, I'm going to feel like I'm on top of the world, because I just beat Magnus Carlsen 3 times in chess, and he's the chess champion of all time, probably. Let's think about Nofap for a second. What will happen if you start a Nofap, a journey which will be full of losses, a very hard journey? Again, framing it as a hard journey is not helpful here, because what's hard about it? Real hardness is like when you're fighting kind of external stuff that is actually hard, like running a marathon. But even people who run marathons love it. When you're at the gym, I was talking to some guy about this. When I'm at the gym and I'm doing the leg press, those final 2 reps are fucking hard. But am I disciplined to get through those last 2 reps? Not really. I want to do those last 2 reps, and I want to push myself to the limit, because that's what I want. I want that. Yes, it's physically painful, but I want to do it more than anything in that moment. I want to really push myself. I'm not disciplined, like gritting my teeth. I am gritting my teeth because it's probably, as I said, physically painful. But am I fighting my own desire to stop? Not really. I want to do it. So, if it's hard, it's because you prefer PMO. But the problem is that people view PMO as this like objectively pleasurable thing, this objectively good thing, this objectively stress relieving thing, this objectively addictive thing, and that's completely wrong. What happens every single time after they lose? They get sad, depressed, consider themselves a failure, even though they won against their addiction many times. You can't win against the addiction. You're just making choices. Nofap is a very hard journey. If you frame it that way, of course it's going to be a hard journey. Again, as I said, what's hard about it? You're just desiring different things for different reasons. Yes, if you believe that it's extremely pleasurable, if it's objectively the best thing on earth, if it's this, if it's that, if it's addictive that you're going to have to battle against, yes, it's going to be hard. But what I'm saying is that it's a trap of your own making, and it's you that have been misinformed. It's not you that's like bad or stupid. You're not stupid at all. You know, I don't consider myself stupid, and I got trapped in this for 6 years because I was just brainwashed. There are plenty of people who are really smart that get brainwashed. You know, like look at Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber. I think he had an IQ of he had a really insanely high IQ. I don't know what it was, but he had all these radical views. You can be a really smart guy, but get brainwashed, and that's completely normal. Don't worry about it. The whole idea of streaks and counting your wins, I don't think it makes sense. I don't track my streak because I don't care. I don't give a shit because it's not an achievement. It's not I don't give a fuck. When you're in this no-fap mentality, you'll probably give a fuck about your streak. You're trying to see how long you can survive for. It's a challenge. Originally, I think it was called No-Fap Challenge to begin with, years ago. I don't know if it's still called that anymore, but it's not a challenge because if it's what you want to do, how is it a challenge? When I go to the gym, I go to the gym twice a week, okay? Because I do a special workout where it says only go twice a week, whatever. That's a separate topic. The point is, I don't have to discipline myself to go to the gym twice a week. It's what I want to do. It's what I believe is good for me. It's what I believe I want to do. Am I disciplined to go to the gym twice a week? No. People might look at a guy who's really in shape and be like, man, you're so disciplined to go to the gym. What they don't realise is that in that guy's own head, he loves the gym, he wants to go. He's not disciplining himself to get the six-pack or to get the big chest. He loves the gym. I'm friends with a guy who's a complete gym rat. Gym, he loves it. He's huge, he's jacked. Do I look at him and think, oh, you're really disciplined? No, I know he really loves the gym because I really love the gym. He just loves it more than me, and he sees that goal as more important than how I see being jacked. And so he puts in more effort. Do I think he's really disciplined to do it? No, I think he wants to do it more. Do you see what I'm saying here? So you can want abstinence. That might sound like a bit confusing, but abstinence isn't nothing. Abstinence is the gaining of benefit. So it's not like you're gaining nothing. You're gaining benefit. And if you're gaining benefit by doing nothing, by doing not fapping, you're still doing something to gain benefit, if that makes sense. It's not like it's just abstinence is like I'm gaining stuff, you know, no PIED, yes, more energy, yes, no shame, yes, don't have to support an industry I hate, yes, feeling good about myself, yes, feeling happier generally, yes, not wasting time, having more time to myself, yes. That's abstinence, not depression, not resisting urges. Anyway, I'm banging on, but there is going to be a lot of banging on about the same stuff because at the end of the day, I'm not going to change the concepts. This works, it's good. I'm just going to keep banging on about the same thing over and over again. What else can I do? Invent new concepts like Hamza and what's the new Hamza idea? Fuck that. Anyway, everyone's praising him even though he's giving wrong advice, which is pretty typical, and it's so sad, and you can see how sad it is. Thinking of making this into a long series, especially now I've got the microphone, I've got the new light. I'm thinking of making this a massive series and just really showing you the depths of misinformation, and hopefully, you know, if you read TFM and if you watch these videos, you're going to be more convinced of this, and then when you abstain, or if you moderate, when you feel better about yourself, when you feel free, you're going to feel that positive emotion. You're going to realize, man, this guy's actually telling the truth, and these videos will hit a lot better, and it will make you really see the misinformation for what it is. And if people are new, this might be your entry point into actually beating this problem, feeling free, feeling awesome, and improving your life. So I might make this into a huge 20-part series. Let's see. What do you reckon? Maybe comment if you're like a subscriber and you want to give me a bit of advice. because at the end of the day, these videos are what's going to help people. And if you want to make your own channel as well, like if you've read TFM and you've like and you're free now, please make your own channel if you want to. If you're interested in helping with the cause or whatever, like make your own channel. And I know it's hard to put your face out here, and believe me, I've got an Indian family. They will not approve of this, but I don't give a shit. I think that helping people is the most important thing in life, and that's where I'm getting meaning. Anyway. Here we go. You might be using porn as an emotional regulation tool. Let's see how accurate this guy's information is. Sorry if you're hearing banging, some guy's doing work upstairs. So he's identifying uncomfortable feelings that you might be using porn to self-medicate with. Okay, right. I understand what's going on here. He's basically saying that you want to engage in positive activities in order to replace porn as a solution for these. For example, let's say you feel boredom. This is typical boredom or annoyance or guilt or hurt or loneliness or sadness. Then instead of using porn to medicate with that, you can replace that with swimming, journaling, exercising, having a conversation with someone. All of these like positive, quote unquote positive habits, instead of watching porn and masturbating, drinking, lashing out on anger, isolating. And here's a good example, right? My point is this is framed like, oh, it's causal, like if you are bored you will desire porn. It's framed that way. It's like, if listen to this, right? It's framed like, if you are bored you will desire porn. Here's the thing, I have been extremely bored, extremely sad, and I've never desired alcohol, even though I got drunk as fuck in my first year. My first year of university I was actually quite sad, and partially due to the porn problem, but also due to other life things. I was quite sad, and I was drinking a lot, going out with friends, but I never connected the two. I never saw alcohol as a solution to sadness. I never drank when I was sad. I'd only drink when I wanted to have fun and go out clubbing with my friends. I was in first year of university, for goodness sake. So, do you see my point? My point is, I didn't mentally connect drinking to relieve of negative emotions because I didn't see it as a solution, and therefore, when I was bored or sad, I PMO'd. I didn't drink because I saw PMO as a solution. Now, was PMO a solution? No, as we said, it's just a distraction. But if you believe that it's a solution, you believe you need it. If you're believing that, you're gonna desire it, and then when you feel that distraction, you attribute that to, oh, PMO chemically causes sorry, PMO chemically causes a relief. I'm sorry. PMO chemically causes a relief in negative emotions, when in reality all it's doing is distracting you. Anyway, this guy's saying that this is quite good. They're saying that porn addicts are normal folk who respond to negative emotions by looking at PMO, by looking at porn. Here's the thing, right? Although that is true, he's framing it as causal, as I said. He's saying you need to fight urges. He's saying you need to, instead of looking at PMO, instead of looking at porn, you need to engage in constructive behaviours instead, as a replacement. He's not addressing the learned connection. He's not addressing the belief that you see PMO as a solution. What if you see PMO as a much better solution than going bloody swimming? Do you know how difficult it is to go swimming? You have to find a pool, you have to drive there, you have to bring your trunks, you have to like take your t-shirt off, and like maybe you're uncomfortable with your fucking how you look shirtless. You have to get in the pool, you have to swim, which is difficult. It's like physically difficult anyway. Some people, as I said, people love exercise, people might mentally really enjoy swimming. But my point is that if you're in that moment where you view PMO as an instant solution to stress, and you view swimming as a kind of solution to stress, but you have to drive to the pool, you have to do all of that difficult shit, what are you going to rather do? You'd rather PMO. And as I said, this is not bad news, because this isn't causal. You can decide differently, because you can choose to change how you view PMO. Is it actually a solution, or is it just a distraction from your negative emotions? When you realise it's just a distraction, you're no longer viewing it like in its unique light. You're viewing it, oh, it's just a little distraction. I could distract myself with anything, or I could just not even do it. And then you start to realise, hang on, PMO never even helped with my negative emotions. Never even helped. It was just a distraction. I just convinced myself that it was somehow this magic cure. And that's realistic. That's actually true. So I'm not saying brainwash yourself with my fancy ideas. This is actually what's happening. How does PMO go into your mind and change your perspective of a negative situation? Can't do that. How can it numb you out? It can't. It can distract you, because you're now, when you watch the video, you're paying attention to the video and the physical sensation. You're no longer paying attention to the negative thought, that negative thing. But you could not pay attention to it in many ways. You could be mindful. You could go for a walk. You could do anything. And then when you start to realise that, your desire for PMO goes down, because you're not viewing it in a unique light. You're viewing it as what it is. It is a useless tool. You know, like I could make coffee with coffee, or I could make coffee with fucking curry paste. Why would I make it with the curry paste when I could use coffee? Coffee's way better. Abstinence is, you can change your preference, you can change your beliefs to view abstinence as a really good solution to emotional problems. Because one man's abstinence is deprivation, is stress, is fighting urges. Another man's abstinence is happiness, right? Stress-free, relaxation. Happiness because of the benefits that he believes he's getting. Yeah? So the problem is that people view abstinence in very different ways on this subreddit. I'm going on and on and on, but I could go on and on for forever, to be honest. I think this is quite valuable. Let me know if this is valuable, if you're watching. It's quite 27 minutes in, so if you're watching this, fair play to you. Look, oh my god, please look at this. Right. Okay, so look at this. Porn addicts have often stopped emotionally maturing when they become addicts and later in life have to play catch up. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's true. This guy definitely agrees. He's 27 and he feels mentally like he's going through shit he should have learned in high school. He quit gaming from Anna Lemke's advice on the Huberman Lab, and the mass amount of thoughts I bury by constant simulation is overwhelming. Fair play for quitting gaming using that advice, because that advice is toxic as fuck. It's like super toxic. And if I stop distracting myself with screens or listening to podcasts, my brain has thoughts on it. On its own, it will tell me what I feel and want to do. Your brain doesn't control you. You control you. You have free will. Now, you have habits, but if you can interpret those habits as compulsions, they will be. And believe me, that life sucks. I also believe that depression and anxiety don't exist. I think that when people label it a disease, it becomes out of their control in the same way that addiction happens. But that's a separate topic. Either way, let's move on. I think we'll do one more and then we'll stop. I don't think that's really related to Nofap, so I'm probably not going to look at this. I think that's really sad, but I don't think that's a Nofap problem. That's more of a, you need to get laid problem. Which, by the way, look at John Anthony Lifestyle on YouTube. He's how I solve that problem. Okay. Okay, right. Oh, this is quite good. Okay, listen to this. So this guy's basically saying, how do you become the Ubermensch? Right? How do you become the Ubermensch who's funny, works out, has good friends, works hard, reads, gives good advice, has insane knowledge, and has good relationship with parents and God, right? So how do you be that guy? Bearing in mind you're asking people on the Nofap subreddit, which is just a cesspool for misinformation. This guy's saying it's not that hard, even though he's on 17 days Nofap. You just need to apply yourself, okay? Eating healthy, doing all these good things is achieved through discipline. No, it isn't. You have to sacrifice short-term pleasure for long-term pleasure, but it can be done. That's bullshit. At the gym, I want to be at the gym. You have to want. You have to want abstinence. You don't have to push yourself to abstinence. You have to want it. There's a difference between wanting it and forcing yourself. You want something by changing how you view shit. And part of that process is unbelieving in addiction, which you can do by reading the Freedom Model. Link in the description, as always, free link. realising you're free, realising you have mental autonomy, stop believing in Nofap, and look towards abstinence as a happier option, and believe, man, I'm really happy like this, because you see greater benefit in it. Stop viewing porn as a solution for anything, because it really isn't. It's only a solution as you believe it to be, and when you stop believing it to be a solution, you experience life, and you realise it isn't a solution, and that reinforces it, and then you live your abstinent life, and you're happy with it, and you feel free, and then you message me on Telegram, and you're like, thank you so much. That's the process. This guy advocating for discipline is unfortunately giving wrong advice. Again, it's the lack of, is so fucking wrong. I'm not disciplined to go to the gym. I go to the gym because I want to. I want to get jacked, so I'm motivated to go. I'm not disciplined. I don't have discipline. I go do stuff because I want to do it. Am I disciplined to record these videos, or am I just fucking doing it because I want to do it? I want to do it. Want to do things, desire things, and you can change your desires by changing your reasoning. But you can't do that if you believe you're addicted, or if you believe you're depressed, or if you believe you have an illness. That's a fixed mindset. You got to undo the buckle. You got to undo your seatbelt before you get out of the car, right? You can't get out the car if your seatbelt's still on. You can try, but it's just going to feel frustrating, and you're just going to struggle. So undo that seatbelt. The way you undo that seatbelt is by not believing in addiction. The way you don't believe in addiction is by being convinced that it doesn't exist. The way you get convinced of anything is through information. The correct information is in the Freedom Model, and on these videos I'm uploading. Hope that makes sense. That's it. Subscribe if you haven't already, because I'm going to be releasing more content like this, and this is actually really like a good voice. If you're in this Nofap community, please listen, because this is what's going to help you, and I really want to help you, because I felt extreme pain with this stuff. This is probably my most painful problem that I've experienced in my life, and it really fucking was shit. And so I want to help you with this. And so, yeah, subscribe, get the information from this channel, and read the books in the description. It's all free. I'm not I don't even have affiliate links. If I had affiliate links, I might use them, but I don't have them as of now. But yeah, read those books, because that's my source material. I'm a young guy on the internet. You don't have to believe me. You can look at the source material, which is a lot. It's made by actual experts who are been doing this for way longer than I have. So if you're not confident with taking advice off me, some brown fucking dickhead on the screen, then look at the source material and see what you think. Okay, that's it. Also maybe give a like for the algorithm if you think we need to spread this message more. If you think we need to spread this more, give a like, because that might help the YouTube algorithm spread the video more. Therefore, people who are struggling will actually be able to find this content, and it might just save someone's fucking life, more or less. Someone might be like this guy. Look at it. Hang on, let's go back. I'll show you this, then we'll leave. Someone might be like this fucking dude, 35-year-old virgin, or where's the 27-year-old that we saw earlier? Anyway. Where is he? Fuck. Can't find him. Anyway, that guy who's 27, who was addicted for 15 years, if a person finds his videos, this might be that bit of knowledge that makes him think, okay, this is the right path. Instead of going deeper into Nofap, he goes away from Nofap and towards just freedom and just doing what he wants with his life and not having this problem anymore. Okay, so that's why I think I might start saying like the video, right? I think it's super important. So yeah, that's it.